Welcome to an edition of Two-Year-Olds in Training by the Harness Edge. I'm Harold Howe, and I'm here today, well north of Mohawk Racetrack with Carl Jamieson. But the two-year-olds are going to see in Florida. I don't know why you come home, but anyway. Carl, I wanted to catch you because you're going to be off to Australia and New Zealand shortly. So
you just answered my question.
Yeah, okay, right. So anyway, when I go to Florida here shortly, I'm going to do the two-year-olds in the flesh, and we'll have your comments with them. And let's start off with a Dewey, Cheatham and Howe filly called Serena Hall, which you bought privately.
Yeah, I bought her off Al Levitt in Kentucky. She's a very nice trotter. We've been in 35 with everything down there, so she's trotting beautiful. You know, can't fault her right now. So
another Daniel Hall?
We hope so.
Okay, we've got a bunch of interesting ones here. One that kind of caught my eye, a Man of Many Missions colt called Bowtie Bourbon, 7,000 out of Lexington.
Yeah, he was a really good-looking colt in Lexington. He sold printer 3 or 4 from the end, and he was a little weak on the pedigree maybe on the second, third, fourth dam. But this colt I think can make up for it with just his class, I guess. He's a very nice trotter. He can trot the 100.
A lot of interest in this first crop of Many Missions, and you get a sense yet? What do you think? I
have 2 of them, and both of them are training well. So. Other than that, I mean, right now they're training where you want to be. So all I got to do is go fast later on. So. Okay,
let's swing over to a breed you do know, some Up the Credit. So you had, of course, won the North America Cup. Let's start with Nino's Credit, a homebred.
Yeah, Nino's Credit. He's a homebred raised by Nas Tutelamondo. He owns him, part of him with me, and he's a pretty nice credit. He's out of a Banner Yankee mare, and training really well, really good gated, don't wear no boots or nothing, just super gated. So just hoping that things go on and keep going a little bit better every week. We're
going to look at 4 Up the Credits, and I know you have an obvious bias because it's like asking about your children, but what sense do you get of what you're seeing?
Well, what I see when I broke all these Up the Credits, they naturally paced free-legged right off the bat. They went out and did everything right. They weren't hard to break. Good attitudes. What more can you ask for right now?
I remember when interviewing you with Up the Credit when you came back from Florida and all that. You were probably the least surprised person you won the North America Cup for.
Well, I'd have to say you're wrong on that there, because I didn't think I thought we had a real good shot of winning the North American Cup.
Well, that's what I mean. You weren't surprised.
No, I wasn't surprised, because at a 2-year-old, he ended up with a little crack in his knee, so we had to shut him down and give him the rest of the year off. He only raced 3 or 4 times, paced like 52 or something as a 2-year-old. So we knew we had lots of talent there. So like in the coming North American Cup, I really thought he had a good shot, because I thought he was a good horse. Fast horse, good gated horse. He liked to do his job. So we had all the ingredients. All he had to do was go and do it.
Well, I just remember when he won, there were a number of people didn't think he was quite there, but I remember you telling me, I don't know what people are surprised about. He looked good coming in, and he just went out and did it.
He come first up from the half on that night and just opened up in the stretch. He beat some good horses that day, and it was the best race, for one of my best races. So going for a lot of money, and it was a thrill to win.
One of his sons is called To His Credit, that you picked up out of the Canadian Open sale for $12,000. Yeah,
that was the first one that I bought. JL Farm raised him, Larry and Joanne Morrison up in Beaton, and they always have horses with me and stuff, and so I bought him. He was going cheap, I thought it was cheap, for $12,000. So he was a great looking horse, and he's lucky one of the fastest ones I have right now. So.
Okay. Flaherty, another Up the Credit that was a private purchase.
Yeah, he was out of Dr. Bob Boyce, and I both raised him. I supplied the stud, he supplied the mare, and we kind of went partners on the deal. And he still owns a piece of the horse, and he's a big horse. I think he's January foaled. He's out of Ingrid Berggren, which I used to race myself. I raced her, and she made 165,000 back then. And every one of her foals made the races. So this is a nice up the credit from her. So very good confirmation and everything else. So.
Next one here is not an up the credit. It's a well-said colt. You had to dig deep. 60,000 in Lexington. Catamount Kid.
Catamount Kid is he's just a nice, good-looking colt. Like he don't wear nothing. He paces free-legged. Like, you know, I bought him to be my, you know, my champion American bred horse. I don't always work, but I really like the horse. Really like him a lot, and I train him in my top sets too. So I mean, he's doing really well.
Okay, and the last one was I'm in Love, a Badlands Hanover filly, 31,000 out of Harrisburg.
She's a good sized filly, very thick filly, full of ambition and stuff, and trains like a bearcat right now. Right. Really. And there was one other one I wanted to point out. There's that I'm a Big Digger, or what was his name? Bigger. Anyway, he's out of a
the Big Digger.
The Big Digger. That Big Digger. He's out of a mare, full sister, to Lux Mistress, and Magician that Jeff Gill's race, win the North American Cup stuff. He's out of that full sister to them. By up the credit, so he should be a nice colt.
He's got a pedigree to go. All right. Now I got to ask you. Last year when we were in Florida and did your 2-year-olds, you offered me one for free. You were so disgusted with them. Do we have any this year that are freebie?
No, that's the funny thing. Last year, this time last year, even a month ago, we had about 4 we were going to give away, and I did give one away, like $50,000 colt, because it was no good. But the rest of them, you know, they were mediocre. But you know, I even talked to Ronnie Waples down there. Like, well, this is the first year that we really had nothing in the last 2 years for sure, because Ronnie worked in the last 2 years, and we had nothing to give away. Like we got 16 head down there, and they're all doing what we want to do and doing the right speed, doing it easy and doing it right. So,
of course, when you come back from Australia, that could change.
Well, with Waples down there, he liked to have them all room time I get there.
Well, listen, enjoy your trip down under, and thanks for your thoughts on these, and we'll see you in the spring.
All right, thanks a lot, Harold.
Harold Howe, Carl Jamieson, 2-year-olds in training.